like I feel like one of the lanes that my music exists in is like mental health rap.
Yeah,
and from post traumatic stress to mental warfare, separation anxiety. Yeah. Like even that war myself is just kind of tapping into like it's like an uncharted territory. Like us as black men, it's kind of the worst kept secret that we deal with trauma. We bottle things up and that whole element of our mental state is kind of stigmatized. And like I said, that the personality piece of it, like I just want to bring it to the forefront. I want to speak for those that don't have that voice, and also people that's trying to like reconcile with it. So the imposter syndrome piece is kind of a dual meaning of like, one, I think most of the people in the hip hop world is fronting and not presenting their authentic selves, but also true to the definition of imposter syndrome. Like I've been in spaces where I didn't feel like my best was good enough. And sometimes that in itself, that mind frame will hold you back. It's kind of like parallel to like anxiety, where you can kind of think yourself into like a relative like coma almost. Yeah. And so I'm on this piece, I'm just, it is what it is. I'm just presenting, myself in most authentic form. I'm talking about, the highs and lows and in between. So the first visual I put out on Father's Day was a song called Genesis that I wrote to my daughter. Cause like that's me. And purest form. Like that's my purpose. That's the primary reason why I'm still doing this, cause it still makes sense to and it's lucrative. But whereas I may have fallen out of love with rap at times, I got a little person that depends on me. And so I felt compelled to use my gift to, to be plentiful and I got to make it happen for her sake. So that was my lead single, if you will, but also just well-timed, just kind of celebrating the whole element of fatherhood. It's like nothing that I could do in the rap world or nothing I've done compares to, that role that I play. Yeah. So I'm putting that out in front of it. Like I said, the imposter syndrome. For all the people that we prop up and look at the way they present themselves is cool. Like ain't nothing cooler than like being true to yourself. And, having some intact core values. So and like I said, even in between, like it's not that it's gonna all be positive spirit and uplifted, but I can call myself on my flaws. On this project, I got a song like where I'm speaking almost as if I'm talking to a therapist. On the song, or there's a few records where I think the next one that I'm gonna put out, I'm talking to myself.
I feel like you got a lot of your like the ones that all the tapes you talking about. I feel like a lot of that those tracks is like that. Like it's felt like you talking to a therapist, or even like you said earlier, you said like you saying something that might resonate with this person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for me, that's why I fuck with you so hard, like that mental warfare shit, because niggas go through it in their mind, no matter what you doing. So for me, just with football, it was like that was my therapy to listen to this nigga talk about some shit that I don't hear other niggas talk about. Whether it's on music, in the house, friends, like I ain't hear nobody talk about, hey, nigga, I'm mentally fucked up. Even at a time when I was in college, we weren't on that. Nobody was on thinking about that shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just being more like in tune with it. Like as I grow, as I wise up, nobody getting no younger. It's like I'm more aware of it. Like I think a lot of times what I was doing, what I was tapping into, I didn't even realize I was doing it. I just was being me. Or this, you know what I'm saying? I was having migraine headaches because I was sipping syrup every day. I really didn't correlate the two. I didn't look at my lack of sleep as a byproduct of this because I just was going through the motions. I just was doing what I was doing. So I got a song called Lean on that project. And then I got a song called Nortriptyline.
And both of them was hit.
It wasn't celebrating either. It was just my reality. You know what I'm saying? I was drinking syrup every day. And I also went to the doctor like, why the fuck my head hurting like this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And you said that a couple times once, my head hurt.
Yeah, real talk.
My head hurt.
But like what they prescribed for me, I'm like, this shit it ain't agreeing with me. I took this shit like 2 days and was like, nah, I gotta figure this out. So it then turned into like fitness, you know what I'm saying? Eventually like taking better care of myself, you know what I'm saying? From the top down, I started to, you know what I'm saying, change some physical things, change my diet, and then it changed my mental makeup. And so eventually, like, I feel like I got to put that on display too. That's why I'm jogging in promo for like this how I'm living now. The same way I had a syrup bottle on the mixtape cover, like this how I'm really rocking. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm chasing the 5-yard around the house. And that's part of it. Like, I gotta get in shape because she ain't getting no smaller. Like, she still want me to pick up. I still gotta rock her to sleep and stuff. So let me get my ass in this weight room or whatever it might be.
Enjoy it.
And making that cool too.
Yeah, girls, them girls don't give a fuck how big and how old they are, nigga. If they say can you pick me up?
Even when they 6'3".
I know. I even be looking at
that's
even when they 6'3".
Camille leg this long, down there dragging on the floor, bro. Just carry.
First thing she do, she still run and jump. She jumped now.
Yeah.
6'3". She already jumping out the gym volleyball, so she jumped. So I gotta
get ready. Nigga need a new
brace
help.
Nigga got to brace. You gotta get in your stance.
Yeah, that don't only say all. We got girls, so we know that don't go nowhere. That don't ever. No matter how old they get, it's still. Because to us, we still gonna to them, we still gonna be.
Yeah.
No matter how old they get. So enjoy it.
Shout out to all the dads out there.
Shout out to the dads, man.
But yeah, the imposter syndrome is like being willing to call myself out on certain things, or like, because awareness is, you know what I'm saying, I guess the segue to accountability for it. And so, like I said, the next record is, I'm talking to myself, but I don't frame the record like that. I'm just rapping. So you hear from the listener standpoint, and it's like, you might be like, yeah, I feel just like that. But in truth, I wrote this to myself.
That's how a lot of that's how your shit be feeling, bro.
But it was more, even that much more intentional.
Yeah,
like I'm being more intentional about it.
Yeah.
Just a feeling, because like I ain't really. I understand that my music is like a motive, and so I'm just trying to really tap into this core feeling, whether it's a positive spirit of emotion or otherwise. I just want you to feel something, you know? So like you was talking about production, beat selection. I stayed in kind of a narrow pocket because I wanted to make sure the music made you feel this on this project. I come behind that, and I'm planning to do an entire project with band play. And, you know, that's my guy. He out of here, you know what I'm saying? Another level and taking this shit across the world.
Shout out to band play.
And we probably be in a whole nother pocket with it. You know what I'm saying? And it might be a little lighter, but it's got some range to it too. But with this, you know what I'm saying, I'm actually like trying to craft a certain thing. My last album was on the screen over there, Love Drug.
Yeah.
I was coming out of a longer than ever hiatus. And so the same thing, I wanted the music to match all them feelings I felt that pushed me back into the booth. And after doing that, and it's like, all right, maybe I feel a little bit better about it. Now I'm like, all right, what's my best foot forward with this? And for sure, I ain't competing with nobody, you know, other than just trying to be my best version of myself. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I just think that in itself is makes it worth doing. Like the effect that you said my music had on you in college times, it's people that's grown up with me throughout all of this. So I just want to make sure I continue to grow.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, I've been a fan from day one.
Right. Before the nigga was
day one, yeah.
That's what's up.
All-star. Well, I know that's Maine. I know Maine when he became All-Star. Yeah.
So you talked about your hiatus, and you wrote that letter coming back. I mean, I know it's a lot of emotions. Like during your time out, you was still making music, or was you like, just really stepped away from it?
I made music like occasionally, but I wasn't really working toward a project, which was different, But I wasn't. My heart wasn't really in it anymore.
What was I guess like what was the thing that brought you to that point where you needed to take some time away?
I mean, in general, loss of love. Like when 2017, I went on a tour with Don Tripp. We went on a 43-city run, and I say somewhere in the first 6 months of 2017, I probably like had more success than in any stretch of time in my career. Like, going back and forth across the country, we dropped Step Brothers 3. It was, like, critically acclaimed. It did well. I was just dropping music, putting music out. I was in a very, like, free space. And then a lot of stuff happened, like, early in that summer. A couple things happened within a few days of each other. I got into, like, a high-profile altercation, and then I got in some trouble, like, you know, real trouble a few days later. And it made everything that I had been doing, like, feel like it meant nothing.
Yeah.
You know, because one, I was able, like, in a matter of days, something happened, and had I reacted further, I'd have put myself in a blind. And so, and people's reaction to it was like, oh man, how you go out like that? Like, and I'm like, you know, everybody know it could have went different. Yeah. And I just had to accept the fallout of it. Then a couple of days later, I got into like an even more real situation. And it seemed like them same people that had that opinion was like, oh man, you crashing out. You stupid, man. Why you do that? Like, so I was at a crossroads. I'm like, man, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. Right. Same lesson that we was talking about earlier when it's like, you in it or you like, you know, and even then with all this success and living well, it was like, man, I'm still at kind of, you know what I'm saying, tiptoeing that line of perception and reality. Yeah. And it just made like taking inventory of it, I was like, man, this shit don't matter. Because the same people that prop you up or condemn you at the first chance, I felt like it was so many people like that was waiting on me to slip up and go outside or whatever. Or it was so many people that was like disappointed, you know, on the flip side. And I'm like, I couldn't make sense of it for nobody else. And I'm like, man, I'm really living through the lens of the rapper. Right. And it's got a, you know what I'm saying? It was like almost a personal conflict. Now with that, I still, like, this is how I pay my bills. This is what I do for a living. I was almost rapping as a form of therapy or as like an outlet. And fast forward within, like, I'm dealing with, you know, a legal situation. I'm going to court and dealing with like my freedom and real life stuff, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with that. And then I'm expecting a child, kind of, all of this is happening at the same time. So, you know, it just did a lot to like my mind frame overall. And I came out of the other side of it, dealt with the legal stuff, dealt with itself, and otherwise, you know, politics and whatever else. Having a child, just my whole like perspective just shifted completely. But it was the simple answer would be like, oh, I became a dad, but it really wasn't that simple.
Yeah, a lot of shit that led up to you getting out of it.
And the time, like, but that gave me like a, you know what I'm saying, like, it was like a grounding influence. And, you know, also, like I said, having a girl was like, I had to take inventory of like the man I wanted to be. And so much of this lane, this career path, it's misogynistic and otherwise. And I'm just like, man, what am I doing? How? And she's smart as hell. At some point, I'm like, I'm gonna have to make sense of all this. She's asking a lot of questions. She's gonna hear some shit. Yeah. And so
she just gotta ask.
So even it's like,
for sure, she's gonna ask for sure.
So I'm like, I think I can. One of the things I always want to tell her the truth, but I'm like, I think I can reconcile and make sense of. All right, from this point, this is how I decided to approach it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't judge me so much as the sins of my past, but you know where I'm aiming to be, or where I am, you know, when I did change my mind or otherwise, or change how I move. And it just, like, on a life level, it just became less of a priority. So creatively, I struggle with, like, what am I projecting versus what are, like, actually, like, my ideals. And during that time, I took a slight pronounced break from the time she was born in 2018. I dropped the album in 2020 called Paternity Leave. And the premise of that album was my fatherhood journey. Because the same way that we talk about the framework of Cold Turkey, like, most of my projects are time capsules. That's why I want to make it and capture, like, a moment in time. Like, this is what my music sounded like.
That's storytelling.
And so, you know, I had Girl Dad record. I had Daddy Issues. I had a song called Baby Mama Trauma. Like, this is my, you know what I'm saying? You know, stream of consciousness rap. This is what was going on in my world. Even the, I think Driver's Seat is like, I'm talking about having a car seat in the back seat. Like I ain't, you know, I had songs like Riding Getting Blunted back in the day. Like that was riding around getting dumb high. Now I'm in my driver's seat, car seat in the back. Gotta save and invest, start teaching them that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just I'm giving you a peek into, you know, where I'm at with it. Cause for sure it's a lot of people out there, you know, on the same type of time. Yeah. But I made this album, Paternity Leave, and once I was very like satisfied with it. I felt good about it as a body of work and my art. But from there, I ain't really know where to go. Because I'm like, what do I do? Paternity leave too? You know, daddy duty? Like, what's my next? Like, I'm going to the well too many times. As an artist, I never wanted to present the same picture over and over. Great artists, like, you know, they painted the Mona Lisa, but shit, you ain't gonna get Mona Lisa the second. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And so past that, I ain't really know where to go with it, honestly. And then other things like in that letter that you pulled up, like it was just things that happened, like when Dolph passed, and otherwise other things that I just fell further out of love with artists. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm cool on it for a while. And Trip going on the run he was going on was really inspiring for me. And I had talks with him that kind of helped push me into the space of doing like the Love Drug album, getting that together. And of course we like perpetually working toward another Step Brothers, but we want to bottle up that same feeling we had on the first one. It was just lock us in a room with some beats and let us come out with some magic rather than being like, man, we need to drop it by this time. So let's put that kind of pressure. Like, let's just let the magic happen. But like now I feel like I'm closer to being inspired. I'm just trying to get back to like having fun and enjoying it. Yeah. Because I used to do it for free, do it as a passion project. I used to want to be the best rapper. And like I said, now I'm in a space like I ain't competing because most of the people in it ain't competing. They ain't trying to be the best nothing, but the biggest gangster with the most bodies and you know what I'm saying, and wearing the most, I got better jewelry than you or whatever. And I'm like, I mean, some of it is cultural, some of it is what it always was on certain levels, but I'm just I'm on a different vibration, honestly, and really slick proud of that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Should be.
Hell yeah.